Viewers, External Affairs Minister has sent out a stern warning to Pakistan. A Pakistani journalist tried to make Jaishankar nervous with the Kashmir question. Now, the EAM's response left him stunned and left everybody else surprised. He said, and I'm going to quote from what the External Affairs Minister said. He said, "Look, in Kashmir, we have done a good job of solving most of the issues. I think removing Article 370 was the first step. That is step number one." Then he goes on to list step number two. He says, then we restored growth and economic activity and social justice in Kashmir. Then he spoke about step number three. In step number three, we ensured that elections are held, and like you saw, there was a very high turnout. And then he said, the only thing that we are waiting for complete resolution is the return. Just focus on the words used by S. Jaishankar. Is the return of the stolen part of Kashmir, which is under the illegal Pakistani occupation. And when that's done, I assure you, Kashmir will be solved. A strong, a resounding, and a bold message sent to Pakistan.
Take a gentleman here on the aisle. Yep.
My name is Nisar. I am an author and a journalist. Let me make you a little nervous, Your Excellency. Thank you very much for your dissertation. Yeah. Kashmiris are up in arms because India is occupying Kashmir illegally. That's the reason why they are protesting. Now, given Mr. Trump's zeal for striking peace and peace deal, can Narendra Modi use his friendship with Donald Trump to solve out the problem of Kashmir? There are 1 million soldiers stationed in Kashmir to control 7 million Kashmiris. So what are you going to do about the Kashmir problem?
Okay,
you haven't spoken about it.
Can we just capture the question there? Thank you. And there was a similar one from there.
Oh, okay. Well, look, on Kashmir, actually we have done, I think, a good job solving most of it. I think removing Article 370 was step number one. Then restoring growth and economic activity and social justice in Kashmir was step number two. Holding elections, which were done with a very high turnout, was step number three. I think the part we are waiting for is the return of the stolen part of Kashmir, which is on the under illegal Pakistani occupation. When that's done, I assure you, Kashmir solved.
A slow roast of the Pakistani journalist who started off his question by saying, "Let me make you nervous." But what happened after that? The External Affairs Minister made it amply clear. He went on to say that, look, we've taken 3 steps already. Number 1 was the removal of Article 370. Number 2 was the restoration of economic growth and activity, and also ensuring people of Kashmir have social justice. Number 3, he spoke of the kind of opportunities that are being given, and then he says the entire problem will be solved if the stolen part of Kashmir is returned. And he speaks about Pakistan. He calls it how Pakistan has illegally occupied the stolen part of Kashmir. Return it, and the problem will be solved. So another strong message given to Pakistan. And if there's anyone, the Pakistani journalist, if you remember, Shrinjoy, tried to say that people of Kashmir are up in arms. If there's anyone that's up in arms, it is the people of POK, who are constantly revolting against the atrocities of the ISI and the Pak army, isn't it?
Well, first of all, the person who was nervous was the Pakistani journalist himself. You heard him speak, and very clearly, he was more nervous than anybody else. I didn't see S. Jaishankar getting nervous at all. That's really the first thing. And to answer your question, yes, of course. See, the problem is that the economic situation in Jammu and Kashmir is far, far better than anything on the other side. And if cross-border terrorism were to end, let's say today, if cross-border terrorism, which has not been successful, let's not forget it's been going on from 1989. Now, 89 is 11, and here 24 years, 35 years. Jammu and Kashmir has suffered from cross-border terrorism. Again and again, you have people crossing the line of control. Who are these people? These are terrorists who are paid for, who are trained, who are armed, and sent across the border by the ISI. If they hadn't done it, Jammu and Kashmir would be in far better shape. Let's not forget that. And if ever their POK becomes part of Jammu and Kashmir,
Right.
then the entire problem will be solved. Can you imagine a situation when Jammu and Kashmir and POK are merged and become part of India? Then the people of POK will actually rejoice.
And politically too, Srinjoy, this is something that the government of India and top leaders of the Modi government have been saying for a very long time. We remember all the emphatic speeches given by the top ministers, be it the Raksha Mantri, be it the Home Minister. Before I come to you, Rishabh, let's once again take you through that entire sequence. Now remember, the Pakistani journalist starts off by saying, let me make you nervous. Let's talk about how people of Kashmir are up in arms. That propaganda has been crushed, and how by the External Affairs Minister. Take a look.
My name is Nisar. I am an author and a journalist. Let me make you a little nervous, Your Excellency. Thank you very much for your dissertation. Yeah. Kashmiris are up in arms because India is occupying Kashmir illegally. That's the reason why they are protesting. Now, given Mr. Trump's zeal for striking peace and peace deal, can Narendra Modi use his friendship with Donald Trump to solve out the problem of Kashmir? There are 1 million soldiers stationed in Kashmir to control 7 million Kashmiris. So what are you going to do about the Kashmir problem?
Okay,
You haven't spoken about
Can we
it.
just capture the...
On Kashmir, actually we have done, I think, a good job solving most of it. I think removing Article 370 was one step, number one. Then restoring growth and economic activity and social justice in Kashmir was step number 2. Holding elections, which were done with a very high turnout, was step number 3. I think the part we are waiting for is the return of the stolen part of Kashmir, which is on the under illegal Pakistani occupation. When that's done, I assure you, Kashmir solved.
That loud applause that came in from the audiences sitting there was also a resounding message to that Pakistani journalist who was trying to peddle propaganda. But the External Affairs Minister, and mark his words clearly once again, return the stolen part of Kashmir, which is under the illegal occupation of Pakistan. Rishabh, this is a stand taken by the government of India multiple times. Now, when the External Affairs Minister goes ahead and makes this assertion on foreign soil, is this also, like a precursor to many more things to come?
Well, Meghna, definitely. It is an old stand, and India is very firm on that. That the only issue that Kashmir right now is reeling under is the illegally occupied part of Kashmir that is in, Pakistan's hostage, for that matter, as External Affairs Minister rightly pointed out at various moments. I'll take you back to May 2023 in Goa, when Bilawal Bhutto, the then Foreign Minister of Pakistan, raked up Kashmir at a press conference where Indian journalists were not allowed in Goa. External Affairs Minister, when posed a question from a Pakistani journalist that how do India and External Affairs Ministry see the dispute between India and Pakistan, and what are the discussions that India is going to have with Pakistan on Kashmir. External Affairs Minister back then on 3rd of May 2023 in Goa, on the sidelines of SCO, very categorically said that the only pending issue between India and Pakistan is POK, and Pakistan has to answer that when is Pakistan returning the illegally occupied territory of India to Pakistan. Yesterday, again, a similar question was raked up. It was thrown at External Affairs Minister. And as you said, the way it began, that this question might make you nervous, now the response has sent shockwaves to Islamabad as well, where External Affairs Minister has very categorically said...
And if there's anyone feeling the jolt, it possibly is the Pakistani journalist who was present there, and also the establishment on Pakistan. On one hand, you're seeing a revolt brewing against the Pak army every day. The people in POK are revolting, they're raising the clamor to merge with India. And now, this message from the External Affairs Minister that return the stolen part of Kashmir that is under Pakistan's illegal occupation, and all the problems will be solved, that should be a warning of sorts. Thank you so much, Rishabh, for joining in. We'll have to take a short commercial break. We'll be back with more news and updates. Stay with Times Now.